Stan Gibilisco here. We're about 6 hours into winter storm whatever. And I'd say we've probably had 7 or 8 inches of snow. That's my deck, of course, the ham radio antenna. I don't know, I guess, I don't mind the winter so much around here because it's just so picturesque. There's Lead in all of its evening glory. Shrouded in snow. This town looks pretty good in snow, actually. We've had, like I said, about 7 inches. Very hard to say how much we're actually going to get in total, however. What you're looking at now there is a lamp that's on an uninterruptible power supply, as is that one. And as is a light out there in the living room. You can see that little spotlight there. So if the power goes out later during this storm, now that light there is not on that one will go out. This one up top here, that'll go out. These are all LED lights, by the way. They consume about 1/10 as much power to give off the same amount of light as an incandescent bulb would, and they last about 10 times as long. Unfortunately, a good one costs about 10 times as much. This is the Nerd Cave. All of the computers are powered down right now, in part because it's very, very hot down here. I have the wood stove going in preparation for possible power failure. There are more lights. Now all of these are going to stay on, as would all of the Nerd Cave electronics should the power go out while I was using that. I don't believe these overhead lights up here are on that, but most of them are. They're all LEDs that only consume 1 or 2 watts apiece of power. That light will stay on so I can see the sign that reminds me where I am. These lights up top here will stay on. And that uninterruptible power supply, as I have indicated in other videos, is backed up now by a couple of automotive batteries. When they wear out, I'm going to replace them with marine batteries. So they're safer and they're more robust for that application. This light will go out, but I'm not going to be using the laundry machines if the power goes out. I sure hope it doesn't. It really sucks. I mean, the furnace can be powered fully by my generator, although it'll stop until I hook the generator up. These lights will stay on with the uninterruptible power supply so I can see what I'm doing. And I very carefully rewired this, or wired up the furnace and all the other electronics to prevent any possibility of backfeed. I literally unplug the devices from the utility and plug them into the generator. I do not even have a transfer switch. I literally and physically unplug them. And the neutral is also isolated, separated, so that I'm absolutely positively certain the water heater will go out. But it's right next to that chimney there, and that chimney gets awful hot with that wood stove, so I'll have at least lukewarm water. I'll probably just run the wood stove if there's a power failure and forget about running the furnace altogether. It's not going to get that cold anyway. It's almost May. It's going to get down into the 20s, but it's not going to be like below 0 or anything like that. So I really don't have to worry about that, but I just hate being uncomfortable, I like to be nice and toasty warm all the time, even when the power fails. By the way, that wood stove, there's been some controversy about them with the EPA, talking about banning wood stoves that don't meet a certain emissions criterion. But old ones like this, the Fisher Grandma, which was already in this house when I bought it 10 years ago and hasn't been moved since, those will be grandfathered in, or grandma'd in, as you prefer. I actually went to the EPA website to verify that because some people were, that light will stay on too. so I can see the wood and everything. Until I hook up the generator, and then all these lights will remain on, of course. There's the switching apparatus and the uninterruptible power supply. You can't really see them down under there. But as for the EPA, you know, there are a lot of rumors float around about when they come up with things like that, and a lot of false stories going around, so check your facts, you know, before you panic. But if you're going to install a new wood stove, you may have to comply with some emission standards. But you know, that's a doggone inefficient way to heat with an old wood stove like that. That light will stay on up there, the kitchen light. That's a doggone inefficient way to heat. So, you know, it's like the LED lights. You spend more up front, save more later. And you get more bang for your buck, literally, more heat out of your wood. And they're probably safer, too. So, you know, the EPA, I think, has our best interests in mind. Although sometimes it seems like all they really want to do is just exercise power. But that's a danger, you know, whenever power gets concentrated into too few hands, you get power abuse. It is a law of the universe. Stan Gibilisco signing off from the Black Hills of South Dakota. Until next time, so long.